Welcome to this year's SBO Q&A video. Remember that you will be voting after you watch this video in your English class.
I'm Taryn Pike, and I'm the current Student Body Secretary.
I'm Braden Knutson, and I'm running for SBO Secretary.
My name is Eli Wadley, and I'm running for Student Body Secretary.
You've noticed that SBO meetings have become inefficient, people having side conversations or just having fun. How do you resolve this issue?
So fun is good. We need to have fun as officers in order to make school enjoyable for the students going here. But I would remind them that we are here for the students at that school, that our stuff is important, but not as important as the students we are serving. Also, agendas, because I always hated agendas, but I realized what they can do. They keep things organized and efficient.
One way I would resolve this issue would be to make a list or an agenda of what needs to get done in the meeting, and probably to communicate it to the officers in a way that tells them that things need to start happening in meetings. But I don't think there can't be fun, after the work gets done.
Give an example when you have demonstrated excellent time management and organization skills. You have 20 seconds to answer.
On a weekly basis, I help manage time and activities for organizations that I volunteer for. I've been doing this for years, and that repetition has really helped me to become a good time manager and an organizer.
Last year, I was a lifeguard, I was on the football team, and I was the owner of a lawn care business. I had to make sure to communicate to all my clients on when I could go and try and stretch my time to make it so I could make every practice and make every shift that I've scheduled. It took a lot of coordination and time management and organization to keep it all in track.
How can you improve Club Rush? You have 50 seconds to answer.
One thing I noticed about Club Rush was that it was very chaotic. I walked into the Commons one day and I had no idea what was going on. There were so many things to choose from, so I just didn't choose any of them. I think what would have helped me is have someone there pointing me in the direction that I would want to go towards. I would tell them what I was interested in and they would help me out. Also, there's so many clubs and just names of clubs that I really had no idea what a lot of them were. So maybe print out a list of all the clubs, put a description in there, and I think that would help students find the club that they were looking for.
I love extracurricular activities. I was involved in a few of them myself, and I think that they're a great way for students to become more active in this school, and I think that Club Rush is a really great way to go about this. Taryn did a great job last year, and so looking to his example, I would probably communicate to all the club leaders and the club makers to see how they would like to advertise and get the word out that they're going to have a Club Rush. Another way I could do it is by having a reward for being there, something along the lines of like food, maybe a treat or something if you go and participate and have fun, and really just make it a good time for students to have. You could even make posters, and you could also advertise throughout the school.
Why do you want to be Student Body Secretary?
I want to be SBO Secretary because I know that with my organization skills, I can keep next year fun, organized, and efficient. I can work well with the other officers to make next year as great as possible for all the students attending Viewmont High School.
It started with my sister. She told me that being an SBO was one of the most fun and enjoyable times of her life, but she just said it was a lot of hard work. And I thought that could sound fun and maybe I could do it, but as I got more involved in the school and I started going to more and more things and activities that the school was providing and the previous SBOs were making, I realized that is something that I would love to do. I'd love to help serve the students here and to help make it enjoyable for everyone to come to school.
I'm Joshua Julian. I'm the current SBO Vice President, and I'm here to introduce the questions for our SBO candidate.
I'm Matt Barlow, and I'm running for SBO Vice President.
There's an SBO who is struggling. They seem depressed or unhappy. How would you resolve this issue? You have 20 seconds to answer.
I think the best way to approach the situation is just to listen. It sounds small, but it makes a big difference. There's probably something going on in their life that I'm not aware of, and I can be there for them and just talk to them, let them know I'm there to help them with anything they need. And they could also just be feeling overwhelmed and stressed with everything they have to get done, and I can help take some work off their shoulders, even if it's something small.
Describe an experience where you demonstrated selflessness. You have 20 seconds to answer.
One time I demonstrated selflessness was actually going to a school dance. There was a girl who's moving away soon, and she hadn't ever been to a dance. She came to my sister and told her about how she really wanted to go before she left. And so I actually had the opportunity to take her to this dance, and it was by far one of my favorite dances, and I'd have no idea why she hadn't been asked before because it's super fun and she's an awesome person.
How would you improve Vikings Give? You have 50 seconds to answer this question.
I've started thinking a lot about Vikings Give and what I think we could accomplish together next year. One thing I really liked is bringing it all back to the community, and that's something I want to continue again next year. Something I thought about adding would possibly be 2 more collection nights. And along with these collection nights, I want to organize a way that people will be able to walk around their own neighborhoods first. And in doing so, I think it'll increase participation and donations. And I want to organize events such as lunchtime activities, car washes or bake sales, the Yuletide Tree Festival, to even a benefit concert. And for me, my favorite day at Vikings Give is when we finally get to meet the people we are raising money for. And I love that day, and I want to organize a way, and I will be working my hardest to make sure that that day is a day everyone will remember and look forward to.
Why do you want to be SBO Vice President?
For me, what my driving force is, I just want to serve people. I'm happiest when I'm surrounded by the students here at Viewmont, and when I can step back and watch students accomplish different things, that's when I'm happiest. And I love the school, and I'm ready to work hard, and it's something I enjoy doing, and it's never a pain for me.
I'm Sarah Barlow, the SBO president.
My name is Mia Graham, and I'm running for student body president.
My name is Gabe Robbins, and I'm running for student body president.
There's an SBO who seems not very enthusiastic about different events. They aren't participating in brainstorming, and overall they're being kind of negative and rude to other officers. How are you going to fix this?
I would just pull them to the side and just ask them politely, like, what's going on, like, just try to be their friend. And I would listen and give them the best advice I could. And I've just mentioned to them that they should be proud to be a Viking and that they represent Viewmont High School.
I would probably just bring them aside and talk to them one-on-one to try to figure out what's making them feel this way and act this way, just so they could feel comfortable talking to me and telling me what's going on. And I would just really try to make them feel good about themselves. And if I felt that it was applicable, I would bring it to all the officers and try to talk to everyone about being happy and uplifting one another, because we all go through rough times.
What was your biggest failure as a leader, and what did you learn from this? You have 20 seconds.
I had a plan, like a camp out for my neighborhood, and I felt so good about it, like we're gonna have so much fun in like doing that kind of stuff, and like no one wanted to do anything, and so I just felt like I just had that failure not to motivate them, and also like I learned that everyone else is different in like getting them to do things.
So one time some of my friends got stuck on an elevator, and while they were in there, me and some other friends were outside just kind of joking and trying to make light of the situation, and we didn't realize how big of a deal it was until after when they had come out, and we felt really bad for some of the things we had done. So what I learned from this situation was that you need to always be kind to everyone, because you never know what they may be going through. So talk to everyone first before you assume anything.
Make a plan for an after-school activity for Welcome Back Week. How are you going to include all of the other officers? What responsibilities are you going to delegate to them? You have 50 seconds to answer this question.
So my idea is to do a men's volleyball tournament, because girls have like powder puff, and we just want to make sure they have fun too. So I would have my vice president explain rules to teams and to form the teams. And then secretary would talk to the principal to make sure it's okay and figure out like when we can use the gym. And activities officer would get the teams put together, meaning like he would like write the teams down and encourage people to do it. Business would make sure we have enough volleyballs and like nets and choose the award for the winning team. Cinematographer would get some boys together to make the video announcements and to introduce the volleyball tournament. Publicity would make posters and advertise. And Spirit would get the cheerleaders to come and support and, of course, like cheer and just be themselves. And then Student Relations would encourage people to sign up and create teams.
One saying I love is go big or go home. So my idea would be to break a Guinness World Record. Now I've looked into some that we could do as a high school, and they include playing the biggest game of red light, green light, Red Rover, or leapfrog. Also, most gum chewed by people, or most text messages sent in 24 hours. Now depending on the record, responsibilities would change, but general ideas are the vice and secretary would create a t-shirt or some sort of memorabilia for the event. Business, depending on the event, would regulate and monitor expenses so we could carry it out. Publicity would make posters and run social media to get as much student involvement as possible. Spirit would hype everyone up at the event and before it so we could have the most fun. And Student Relations would make some sort of picture or poster that everyone could sign who participates so they can remember it. Cinematographer would document everything to make a movie at the end of the year, and I would have activities hold a vote so students could choose.
Why do you want to be student body president?
I, Mia Graham, want to be student body president because I want to represent VMOT, and I want to make sure that every kid that comes to school feels welcome and they feel loved, even though they may have their flaws or their trials in life. And just because I'm wearing a sweater does not mean that I want to be praised for being student body president. Like, that's not who I am. I want to make sure that I'm being myself and that that I love the kids here at VMOT and just want to make sure they feel supported.
I want to be student body president because I love this school and I love everyone here too. I have loved my high school experience, and my biggest goal next year would be to make everyone love their high school experience just as much as I have. So I would do my best to include everyone in everything that I can, make them feel loved, and make them feel like they have a real friend in me.